during a hiatus of Even Stevens, one of my more memorable trips, like my mom did try to get me out of LA a lot. So like when we were on hiatus every summer, we would do summer hiatuses. One summer I went and did a boat. Do you remember this at all? Maybe? Mm-hmm. I went and I crewed a boat. And basically I was for like 10 days living on a boat with other teenagers. And for a kid that wasn't in high school, like about, the way that we were, it was a really beautiful experience for me. And I fell in love with sailing. And so I crewed a boat, and it was like a 84-foot schooner or something like that. And we like slept on the boat, and we did Block Island and went to Mystic, and like we did all of these East Coast little areas.
Wow, that's amazing.
Dude, it was amazing. It was amazing, and like I just remember having that be a really beautiful moment for myself and remembering how dirty I was, because that was the first time I'd ever felt like you'd have to embrace being dirty because you wouldn't be able to shower until you got to the next port, which would be days at a time. And sort of being this very like type A, clean little Disney actress, I got to be a little wild and not brush my hair. And so I've really always, ever since then, had a really true deep appreciation for sailboats.
Yeah.
And you lived on a sailboat.
Yeah.
Have you sailed?
I worked at a marina for about 6 months.
Did you get to go on the boats?
Oh, well, I see, only when I did the pump outs.
Oh, but wait, you don't swim.
Yeah, yeah. See, I only got to go on the boats on Wednesdays when I did pump outs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sewage water,
yeah,
the
to
gray
go
water?
pump out the shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucked.
Can I ask you, if you put a vest on, or do you feel okay being on a boat?
No, it's just you go
that's
up
right,
there.
because you don't swim.
Yeah, I don't swim.
No, but if you did have a vest on, would you go on a boat?
Yeah, I'd go on a boat without a vest.
Okay.
As long as you at least make an effort to try to save me. Like, throw me something, I'll be cool.
That's good, though.
I'll be
That's
cool.
fucking, considering, that's actually pretty brave.
Did you work at like one of those like gas stations on the harbor type thing?
Yeah, Benicia Marina, yeah. Only on Wednesdays I did the pump outs, because that was their pump out day. So
you've had some odd jobs,
dude,
huh?
Wednesdays sucked, because I'll tell you the story of me learning to do it, too. So I had, Braulio and Fermin. Braulio and Fermin, if you're watching this, I love you guys.
Aww.
The first day they're teaching me to do pump outs. Yeah, they decide to screw with the new guy. So they don't tell me about how hard you got to actually put the hose down, or else the shit will just spray everywhere, right?
No.
So they don't tell me because they want to fuck with the new guy a little bit. And of course, I put it down, not hard enough. Shit just goes flying all over the place. And this is the first boat of the day, right? So I got another 20 to do, and I'm just drenched in shit.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, this is going to be a fun day. So we're doing this shit, and I'm like, lassoing this, knot to tie us up to these big-ass yachts. I get up there about halfway through the day, got flies flying all over me.
Oh, damn.
Oh, this is terrible.
And, the guy goes, man, you smell like shit.
You're like accurate and not helpful.
Yeah, dude, it was really bad.
Oh, hey, so, and speaking of odd jobs, I actually had a really random odd job. I'm not sure if people know about this, but I kind of was quitting acting for a minute. And so I went back to college at 26. And then I actually ended up meeting my husband there. But what happened is I decided I wanted to take an internship at Disney. And that it was a paid internship. And I don't know how the heck I did it, but I was literally at the post-production at ABC Studios on the lot. Okay, I had like a name badge and everything. I think I still have it. I was a cast member. And guys, when I tell you, I was actually filling in for the receptionist at ABC Studios. And the heads of production, I forget their names at the time, but they were these bigwig guys that we'd all probably like audition for, or if you get to networks and tests, you end up seeing these like bigwigs. And I was literally at the reception desk, and they would stop by, and then they'd stop and do a double take, and they'd be like, you. And I was like, yes, hi. And I was like, and then I would like pick up the phone. And this was like after I'd had like this legacy career with Disney. And now I'm sitting at the receptionist desk. And I got to be honest with you, there was a part of me that was like, yeah, fucker, it is me. Yeah. I live, I exist, and I am fucking answering your phones. And that is the beauty of life, is that if there's anything, you are vulnerable and things can go full circle. So I know that it was hard and it was extremely humbling at the moment, but at the time, I didn't let it get me down. And I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be a director. I'm going to be a producer. And I was really starting to divorce myself from, just the identity of my past. So slowly but surely, I came to understand what that meant and how to monetize that off of that myself. But yeah, I mean, it was a struggle for a while, of course. You got to find your way.
Well,
You've always had your shit together, though, when it came to finances.
That's not true.
Have you ever struggled financially?
I mean, I still struggle, but I just struggle to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean?
You're in charge of your finances.
I've always taken risks with the money that I've made, and those risks put me in a certain kind of precarious position, meaning things are okay because I can maintain a certain level of existence.
Understood.
Right. But at the same time, I always have a lot kind of riding. Mm-hmm. And so with real estate, it's I'm always kind of developing and trying to grow what I'm doing with real estate. And so you're borrowing money, you're spending money constantly. Now,
but you're also creating a track record because you have a good one.
More importantly, I make sure that I have a certain level of investment so that if the shit did hit the fan and all goes kaput, I'm still going to be okay. Mm-hmm. I have something to restart with. Mm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm only going to fall so far. So I don't risk it all. But because of just the way I've lived my life as a creative, and I'm constantly kind of,
you're harnessing that energy,
trying new things. I'm always putting the money on the line, so it's never comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's never comfortable. But I also know that if things go bad, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. For me, when I got started, the one thing that I always wanted was just a place to live.
I know what food you are.
What food am I?
Passion fruit.
Hey, baby!
Because we went to his bar. We went to his bar last night, and he literally took out passion fruits from I don't know,
my vines,
off his fucking vines.
I have passion fruit and grapes growing on my property.
He's an expert mixologist. This guy.
This is really? Not so. You are so sweet.
Take the compliment. Fine. He cuts. He's like, no, this is how you cut the passion fruit. He takes it. He cuts the top. He's telling everybody, look, this, you can scoop it out with the spoon, and then he pours it into shot glasses. And I'm like, Nick, I don't shoot. I don't drink. And he's like, shut up, just drink it. And I was like, okay, it's not alcohol.
It's just passion fruit.
It's just passion fruit. But it was the most amazing tasting, fresh, creative way of taking in a fruit. Mm. And I was like, there you go. He's passion fruit.
Well, it's actually, so one of the things I do is the passion fruit is a little, when you cut the top off, it's a little cup. And I mix it with, we didn't do this for our drink, but when I'm serving people at the bar, I have this little drink I've made. It's called a passion fruit shot tail. And we mix it with a coconut rum and then pour it back in the actual fruit cup. So you're drinking it straight out of the cup. So it's pretty amazing. But
I would have took that to the face.
Yes.
I feel like we got to have some shots here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Joe.
So
I think we got time for one more.
I want to go to this weird job thing real quick. Though.
Okay, yeah. Weird job is so fun.
So one thing that when I was started in this business, the one thing, the one principle, I guess, that I try to stay true to is that I always have to work. Mm-hmm. No matter what I'm doing, I have to stay working. I didn't care if I booked a job for a little while, a TV show for a little while, a gig for a while. When that was done, I had to get a job, a regular job, no matter what it was. I worked with Heidi Fleiss.
Whoa.
Do you remember Heidi Fleiss?
Wait, Heidi Fleiss is a pimp.
Heidi Fleiss was that Hollywood madam.
Wait, she's a pimp. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't work for her as an employee of hers.
Down on Sunset?
No, she had a clothing line for a
legitimate clothing line.
Well, you call it whatever you want to call it. It was called Heidi Wear, and it was supposed to be sexy lingerie. It was really kind of just cheap knockoff stuff with her name on it. But I was at the time I was 19 or 20 years old, and I brought her my lookbook, and she had a place in Pasadena, and I went downtown, little bold, crazy dude. I was 19 or 20.
Before even Stevens. Right before, though.
Yeah, well, a couple years before.
She was looking at you
I brought her his lookbook, and it's her and all these cute chicks working at this little store.
I bet.
And they all were like, who is this guy coming in here? And they hired me, and then she eventually went to jail, and asked me to help manage because all the girls that were working there were actually
Prostitutes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that at the time, but they were pretty unreliable and always kind of getting fucked up.
These bitches.
And so
Man, who
I
would've
had to
thought?
help run this place while she was in jail for a little while.
Are you
I was,
wait,
I
are
was
you
like
serious?
I was like 20 years old. It was
For
crazy.
how long did you run Heidi Fleiss's
It was like 6 months. I
money
did this.
laundering
It was
scheme?
me and one other girl were like managing this thing, but that wasn't even the weird job. Although that was a crazy job.
I think you win. I'm
after-
sorry about
Yeah,
your
no,
stuff,
he
but
wins.
Like,
I
he kind of wins
No,
right
yeah,
now.
I give up to the throne.
It was a crazy. The story gets even crazier.
love
but we won't
this.
talk about that.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Even More Stevens podcast. For full episodes, check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get podcasts. Do you want more of us in your life? Well, then join our Patreon today. Link is in the description.